this is what they're doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what this doing, this is what the frog is doing, this is what the tree is doing, this is what the cat is doing, and we're all doing it all together. I will die for you, ooh, 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 saying you, ooh, I will die for you, ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, welcome aboard the TAi NOW ship with your Captain Naga. Shout outs to the homie Prince, forever in our hearts. Well, today's going very special episode, very dear to my heart. Going to talk again about the psychedelic experience, but we're going to try to focus on what I feel about what the experience brings out of me, you, and what does that entail? Not really what it's entail. I'm just going to say what happens. Just ties. Let's just tie. So thanks for tuning in. Let's go. Psychedelic experience is one that should be messed with. Hey, do your research, as I always say. It's your body and it's your mind. I can't tell you, and I won't tell you what to do. These are from my personal experiences. But as for psychedelics, it is one of the most spiritual things I have ever experienced. To think that a plant can cause that kind of reaction in the mind, because it starts with the chemicals, the spiritual and the physical. There is no difference. It's just, shouts to Alan Watts. But the chemicals that go on your brain, they unlock you to your true self, to the true reality. Then I talk about depression for a minute. When people are clinically depressed, the scientists, when they put the machines on your head, they literally see that there's chemical imbalances compared to someone that's more upbeat. There's chemicals firing, neurons misfiring, and it's mostly because of trauma, to tell you the truth. But the scientific view, a lot of chemical imbalances is going on. So you need to stay proper diet. But all right, let's stay on this path. Psychedelics. The chemical reaction that they give you allows one to see with this eye. How do I know? From experience. How can I tell you? You ever was so... Remember as a kid how we were so in the moment that it seemed if we were having fun, it flew. If we was not having fun, we made it fun, and it flew. That's why our childhood kind of flew by us. And then when we get to the adult years, it's like, oh, okay, now we're just dragging along. But for those of us in the know, stay forever young. You can't enter the kingdom of heaven, at least you come as a child. I just think that's in the Bible. But so these psychedelics, the experience for me, it brought me back to my childhood state of mind. But not really like when you say child as baby, but then again it is a baby. For me it was everything wrapped in one. Because as a teenager I was always like, hey, let's go do this. I want to do this. Or I was in my head all the time, but I was still had a lasso here so that I was able to bring the genius here. For me, genius means to be inspirited or connected with a genie, and for me the genie is my higher self. So psychedelics for me have reconnected me to my higher self, to the kid, so that I'm able to bring about inventions and bring it here. Because inventions, I love to create things. We were brought here to be creators, to me, to come here and show other people other things, and they show us what they have, and we just laugh and just party. And for me, also, psychedelics has rid a lot of the trauma It has brought me to the place of the observer, where I can rewrite scripts that I thought was embedded in my DNA. Epigenetics. Look into that. Epigenetics. Our genetics change depending on our environment. Or you can be as bright or as happy as you want to be, but if you growing up in the wrong or an environment that's bringing you down, your genetics literally change to suit the environment, and you won't even be able, you'll be able to tell the difference, but you'll accept it as your programming. Until for me, I woke up to psychedelics and I said, wow, I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to be happy. I want to be joyous. I want to feel and have emotions come to me that makes me feel alive, instead of thoughts bombarding me that makes me feel like I'm dead and that I need to go and survive. Like, it was moments during my trip where I was able, my mini trips, where I was able to go to the child self. Like, one time I seen, let's get personal, I've seen a girl. I have stitches on my eyebrows right here. It was made by a girl when I was probably like 5 or 6 that hit me with a wrench or something. Claimed to be playing around. I don't really remember the story, only as told by others. But I literally saw myself on that porch, and I forgave her, because for me in my head it was like, maybe this is why you see girls a certain way. Probably it started with this. Because for me, I always would say, I don't remember my childhood. I don't remember anything. I passed like high school or middle school. I grew up always saying, hey, I'm just living in the moment. But I don't know, for me, I just wasn't able to remember. It was like it was a block on my mind, a patch that said, hey, don't think about none of that stuff. Or you're not capable of thinking. And for psychedelics, it removed that patch. And I was able to go into the past, because the past exists in the mind. The past is here, the future is here. You just have to, there's many ways to travel into hyperspace. Shouts to Star Trek. Just Tai. But to continue with this tie-in, I was reborn. I was given a new skin. It was like a snake, and I was able to shed and peel back all of that old stuff. And I was able to see the tree for what it was. I was able to see my family for who they were, in the roles that they was playing, and that they really do love me. Because I knew that people loved me and that they had love for me, but it didn't really mean, it meant the world to me, but it didn't mean what I needed it to mean to me in order for me to become my greatest person, in order for me to live. Because I will always have these thoughts of, I guess it was stuff telling me like, hey, they're not really there for you, or if they was, they would be doing this and doing that. But psychedelics allowed me to see that this is what they're doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what this doing, this is what the frog is doing, this is what the tree is doing, this is what the cat is doing, and we're all doing it all together in the most magnificent of ways that is hard to put into words right now, but it's very magnificent. Also, the psychedelic experience for me has shown me how much people think they know what they're talking about. There's a lot of people saying they're woke this and they do this. And that's a good thing. As I was just saying a while ago, that's a fantastic thing. But we have to do things with a mindfulness, our own mind. And it's good to take inspiration for others. Thank you for listening. But we have to have their own spark in us. And for me, psychedelics gave me that flair of, wow, this is me, and this is my mission. This is what I have to do. I kind of knew, I had that vision as a child with the church, I was always outgoing and evangelizing. So for me, that spirit was always in me. It was just taken, nothing can be taken away. It was brought back to my realization, to my ego mind. The ego is a terrible thing, but it's you, and you can't kill yourself because you don't want to kill yourself. The ego is this little monster thing that's been dramatized as the devil and everything, but it's you. And what we have to do is shape the ego to listen to us, because it has all these wishes and worries, because it believes that this game of reality is real. But the upper higher selves, we know what's really going on, and we have to constantly remind ourselves to not trip. Well, that word trip out, I don't really like to use the word trip out, because we go on trips every day to the store and everything, and bad and good stuff is always happening. So a trip is always needed. But we don't need to be so fearful. We don't need to be like, hey man, damn. But be like, hey, let's do it. Woo! Yeah, just TAi. But hey, I'll gather some more thoughts later. But for right now, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. And if you like this, be sure to drop a big thumbs up. Drop 1, drop 2, drop 3, drop 4, drop 5 likes. And be sure to subscribe. And that love is in the air. Love is always there. All you have to do is care. We all TAi. But do we really TAi? I don't know. But hey, Captain Naga, signing out. Peace.